Measures to unload France's amber vest protests will price €10 bn, £9 bn, $11 bn, says Financial Secretary Bruno Le Maire. How cash will be displacement by intermittent in some by the government conducting, he says. Mr. Le Maire, talk a day following CEO Emmanuel Macron set out the changes on TV, told plan reforms remained on year in spite the acquiescence to protesters. France would yet honor deficiency to GDP targets set by the EU, he said UK and US journalists. France's attraction, to investors, is at share. How is why it is so essential to support the way of reformation, he told. We wish to adhere to our Europe commitments. We will do our top to bring the standard of social conducting and be as shut as probable to 3% in 2019. Italy, by blood pressure of Brussels to cut its budgeting, has already alerted the Europe Committee not to offer France any specific favors. Mr. Macron announced 4 persons new measures on Monday night designed at purchase off protesters, whose 4 persons week motion has created the largest meltdown of his chairmanship. Mr. Le Maire told the CEO had found the order speech and the order reply. If you see the polls, down there is precise testimony how same's been understood by a big portion of the people, he told. It was required to give the public meltdown to enlate. It was possessing an effect on increase, on SMEs in special. We had to get out the communication how we understood. In the additional conducting anticipated to price about 0.5% of gross domestic product, by the government officials told saving would be found in country authority, aid to business community, and in new taxes on digital multinationals such as Google, POM, Facebook and Amazon, jointly marked GAFA. France's by the government has told it will give in a as-called GAFA tax on its their own, if it cannot be coordinated within the EU. The France by the government had planned for a 2.8% deficiency to GDP relation in 2019. Out of any saving, the new measures would indicate how relation ascent to 3.3%. To remain during EU sustainability rules, any growth over 3% would requirement to be displacement by intermittent. Yet, by the government officials marked how the 2019 figures were distorted since of a off dual pay in out to business community, related to the decrease of public extortion. Out of how extraordinary cost, they say France would be so under the 3% goal. The secretary told the Amber Vest protests were symptom of a Europe-wide ailment inflicted by low salary. This key item is to do job pay in, which we our vision is a enormous quantity of countrymen who are in job but yet lack to do ends encounter. It is a issue of all our societies, the virtue of job. This crucial item is to discover the order balance sheet among a precise answer to the fears of a big portion of our people, and the requirement to hold on the way of reformation. Mr. Le Maire insisted how reforms to the retirement framework and to joblessness gain would go front as planned following year. He protected CEO Macron's judgment not to offer in to a key consumer demand of the protesters, to annul the fractional annul of the riches tax, ISF. Following his poll recent year, CEO Macron abolished a tax on top earners' stake dividend distribution but stored it on invest-in characteristic. The aim was to promote the wealthy to hold their cash in France and put in production, but opponents see it as a character of separated community. If we wish to deindustrialize we requirement equity, told Mr. Le Maire. Investors include Go. Overseas invest has never been so top. We include indications how our financial politics has done the nation more than appealing.